Okay. Now, I guess getting back to social media, it sounded like you had some thoughts about the pros and cons of utilizing that with journalism. What
Well,
thoughts did you have on that?
it's interesting what we are, and in newspapers, in print newspapers, we're in a transition that I don't know if we'll figure it out because I believe it's generational. If you look at, I was born in '68, so that's Gen X, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That's like right at the beginning of it. So I'm more boomer than anything. But you take my generation back, and we're used to the printed newspaper. We're used to having that in our hands. You take millennials on to now, to this day, these generations now, they're not used to that. My daughter, born in '99, she does not read a printed newspaper, and I work at one. She does not pick one up unless she has to have one. Unless she had to have one for a school project, she does not look at a printed newspaper. Just doesn't. That's not her generation. It's not her thing. It's not her people's thing. And I think we're kind of in a thing to where the small papers, especially because of the small paper, we worked at one together. As much as we hate to say it, as much as we hate to admit it, we're kind of in the scrapbook business too. And moms and dads and grandparents and aunts and uncles, they like to cut out articles of their kids and their neighbors' kids and put them in books. I just was at a banquet, a high school girls basketball banquet for a county school here just not long ago, and every senior got a big scrapbook filled with cutouts of articles and photos that had been in the paper of them during their senior year, their 4 years really of school. And I don't know who put it together, but it was a parent or a grandparent or somebody like that. And so we're kind of in that crosshair. We're kind of in a big gray area there between generations, is like the printed newspaper and don't read printed newspapers. And I don't know if we're going to figure it out because, like I said, because it's not advertising based, it's not this based or that based. It's generations, and one group of generations wants it, another one doesn't, and so we're kind of caught in the middle. And right now, this is the middle, and so we're kind of in that mix. And I'll tell you, this happened to me during the first COVID year, and the first year we came back for football season. We had gone to a 2-day-a-week paper, Tuesday and Thursday, and my original philosophy was I still wanted to do what we call Sports Monday. And back in a 5-day-a-week paper during football season, we would have something called a Sports Monday. It would be a special part of the newspaper, a special section included. When we first started, it was a tab that was printed with it. As we got older, it became a broadsheet that was put in the middle of it. It was 4-page pullout, all color. And I wanted to continue that after we had switched from 5 days to 2 days. I wanted to keep doing that on Monday. So what I did was that first Monday, after the first week of games, I did just like I would do a regular Sports Monday, all of the game stories that were written, all of the stats, photos, like a little bit of wire copy in there as well, but as much local as I could. And I made like a 3-page addition to what our 4-page Monday online edition was. Then on Tuesday, the printed paper, I just did a roundup of those 3 high school games. And if there's anything else over the weekend that I didn't get to, a Tennessee game, UT Martin, Maury State, a golf tournament, a PGA or NBA or whatever, because it's late August, late August. So that became a 2-page printed edition. Very next football game, very next Friday night, I'm at a game. We have not done the printed paper like we used to. It's been just a roundup. It's like one photo instead of 3 or 4 from the high school game. Very first Friday after that, an assistant coach at the team with the game I was covering comes over to me. I thought he was going to fight me. I really thought he wanted to beat me up because we didn't have the Sports Monday and Tuesday like we had done it in the past. They were really upset about it. And as the season went along, and that's what I was doing, anybody that came up to me and said anything to me, it was negative. They didn't like it. They didn't like the online. I don't read that online thing. I would get that all the time. I don't read that online thing. Anytime I mention online, I don't read that thing. So I went through it for the whole year because I'd committed myself to it, and I wasn't going to let some people change my mind, even though really that's kind of what I probably should have done. But I didn't let them change my mind. But when basketball started, everything changed. And since then, I now do a roundup on Monday and the full sports I don't call it Sports Tuesday, but that's all now Tuesday's paper, printed edition. So that first couple of weeks in the football season after COVID and after it switched from 5 to 2 days, that was really interesting. And so that's why I wonder I don't participate as much in the online edition because I'm just not getting good feedback from it. And I'm the one that's out. I'm the one that's at ball games. I'm the one when I'm at, this when we're at ball games, it's not a meeting where there are 10 people there. It's a ball game where there are 210 or 310 or 500 or 1,000 people there. Well, if 5 of them come up to me and say, I don't like what you're doing, then I'm guessing they speak for a whole lot of people. So I don't participate much in the online except for special occasions, but I probably should. I definitely should do more social media. I do not do nearly as much social media as I should. I should do more Twitter, certainly more Facebook, because that's what people have, is what most of the people around here will read. Not as much Instagram, but you don't do much with that anyway, as far as a newspaper is concerned, but other than photos. But I should do more social media. I don't do the online because I just don't. I just get negative feedback about it.
You give TikTok a try. You'd be a natural for that one, right?
Oh, I would really be a good TikTok. I would be a great influencer. People would be completely influenced away from the newspaper business as a whole if I got on TikTok.